notice how serious both parties took the game of golf. He's got what he calls he doesn't call it it's the Internet Invitational, okay? Teamed up with Bob Does Sports, I think, that does golf. I mean, I went and looked at the views on these things. I'm like, are you shitting me? Not just a few. We're talking 20 million views and a lot of views. So definitely, serious to get publicity, get your name out, yada yada.
Recent news surrounding Caitlin Clark has shifted away from basketball discussions and focused primarily on collective bargaining agreements and alternative professional leagues. However, another topic keeps emerging: golf. Clark recently participated in the Annika event, competing alongside other notable figures including Kaya Trump, who was also part of the celebrity field at Pelican Golf Club. During this competition, Dave Portnoy observed how dedicated both athletes appeared toward the sport. Portnoy organizes what's known as the Internet Invitational, a collaboration with Bob Does Sports. The tournament has generated remarkable attention, with certain videos reaching approximately 20 to 25 million views within a single month.
Out, yada, 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 as if Caitlin Clark needs that, but it sounds like, as of right now, she took Dave Portnoy up on his offer to play in that tournament next year. Kaya Trump said yes, too. He invited both of them. And we know Dave doesn't care who he pisses off, seriously. And we've also got something on Sophie, Lexi, and Caitlin teaming up again because Sophie's got a bit of a golf bug.
Such numbers demonstrate significant reach and exposure potential. According to recent reports, Clark has agreed to participate in Portnoy's tournament scheduled for next year. Trump has similarly confirmed her attendance. Portnoy extended invitations to both competitors, though he acknowledges uncertainty about whether these commitments will ultimately materialize when the event approaches. Portnoy has ambitious plans for the tournament's growth, aiming to establish a prize pool reaching $10 million for the upcoming edition. If Clark follows through with her commitment, sponsorship opportunities would likely become considerably easier to secure.
Of a golf bug too, and I noticed this when we were playing the videos from that appearance where she was a caddy. She had a pretty good golf swing, and she said, "I never play. I don't play." And I'm like, that swing's actually not terrible. So I thought that was kind of interesting. We'll get to that in a second. Portnoy.
So is this more like every other year, let it grow? I heard
every year.
Yeah, you invited Caitlin Clark, right?
The proven success of the inaugural event positions the second year as crucial for establishing long-term viability. Sophie Cunningham recently made headlines for activities beyond the basketball court. The Indiana Fever player, whose debut season with the franchise ended early due to injury, attended the pre-tournament Pro-Am event at the Annika competition on November 12th. Rather than competing, Cunningham served as a caddy alongside teammate Lexi Hull. During her podcast episode, Cunningham revealed plans for her off-season activities. Despite not having extensive golf experience, she believes she possesses untapped ability in the sport.
More like every other year, let it grow. I heard
every year.
Yeah, you invited Caitlin Clark, right? Are you already putting a
every
crew together?
Year, huh?
Yeah, every year. I'd like to. I don't know what'll get there. I'd like to do a 10 million pool next year. See, I think it's going to be a lot easier to get money, sponsors, all this stuff. We proved it. Year 2, you really prove it, and then you got something. I've invited 2 people so far. They both said yes. I don't know how serious the yeses are. Caitlin said yes. Kaya Trump said yes. Those are my 2 that I've asked. Whether push comes to shove and those 2 are available and do it, who knows?
Cunningham intends to play Friday to evaluate her current skill level. The Mercury veteran plans to hit the links with Clark, who has already demonstrated considerable talent on the course. Cunningham praised Clark's abilities, noting her strong ball striking capabilities. While Cunningham prefers pools and beaches for relaxation, Clark gravitates toward golf courses. Plans are developing for Cunningham, Clark, and Hull to spend more time together on golf courses. The trio enjoyed their experience at the Annika event, appreciating the completely different atmosphere compared to basketball.
And those 2 are available and do it, who knows?
Okay, so you just heard it. Kaya Trump and Caitlin Clark both told him yes. And he's trying to get a prize pool of $10 million. And if Caitlin Clark shows up, if she actually commits, and sponsors, etc., know that's happening, Oh, man. They'll get some sponsors, I guarantee it. Sophie
The relaxed environment provided a welcome contrast to their usual competitive setting. Cunningham launched her podcast Show Me Something during July, co-hosting with longtime friend and reality television personality West Wilson. Her popularity expanded significantly after joining the Fever, particularly through her association with Clark on the league's most followed franchise. The podcast currently operates under Colin Cowherd's network, The Volume. There were discussions about potentially bringing Cunningham's podcast to Barstool Sports, but various factors related to her existing commitments prevented an agreement. The show has generated substantial conversation, with certain statements occasionally sparking reactions from listeners.
They'll get some sponsors, I guarantee it. Sophie Cunningham shares decision away from WNBA with Caitlin Clark. I hate some of these titles. I really do. So, right here, Sophie Cunningham recently made waves away from the basketball court with Indiana Fever teammate Caitlin Clark. Cunningham, whose first year with the Fever ended prematurely due to a season-ending injury, took part in a pro-am that preceded the Annika, driven by Gamebridge at Pelican Golf Club.
The Internet Invitational's impressive viewership numbers underscore its potential as a major event. Content from the tournament has accumulated views that dwarf typical sports media output, with monthly totals exceeding what many established channels achieve throughout their strongest periods. Whether Clark ultimately appears at next year's tournament remains to be seen, but Portnoy remains optimistic about securing her participation. The combination of high-profile celebrities and substantial prize money could establish this as a premier event in the crossover between professional sports and golf entertainment. Cunningham faces important decisions regarding free agency in the coming months, which will determine her basketball future. Meanwhile, the off-season golf activities provide athletes an opportunity to unwind while maintaining some competitive engagement in a lower-pressure environment.
Took part in a pro-am that preceded the Annika, driven by Gamebridge at Pelican Golf Club November 12th. Unlike Caitlin Clark, however, Cunningham did not play in the pro-am. Instead, the WNBA veteran was a special caddy for the event, along with Fever teammate Lexi Hall. Cunningham discussed her experience on the latest episode of her podcast, which led to an announcement about off-season plans with Clark and Hall. Cunningham was already a popular player even before she joined the Fever this past season. However, her fame reached new heights as she played along.
The convergence of basketball stars and golf continues to generate interest, bridging different sports communities and creating new entertainment opportunities. Clark's golf appearances consistently attract attention, while Cunningham's emerging interest in the sport adds another dimension to these developing storylines. Recent revelations about the WNBA's latest collective bargaining agreement proposal have exposed significant discrepancies between public perception and actual contract terms. Front Office Sports investigated the details, uncovering what many consider a misleading presentation of salary figures. Initial reports suggested the league had proposed supermax contracts exceeding $1 million annually, representing a substantial increase from previous offers of $800,000 to $850,000. However, sources close to the negotiations revealed that the $1.1 million figure doesn't represent actual base compensation.
Past season. However, her fame reached new heights as she played alongside Clark on the league's most well-supported team. Her rising popularity eventually led to Cunningham launching her own podcast, Show Me Something, in July, in which she hosts alongside old friend and reality TV star West Wilson. Well, she made this decision about taking up the golf game. Quote, "I think I have some potential in my golf game," she said. "I really do. I'm going to play this."
Instead, it combines standard salary with performance-based incentives and potential revenue participation. The reality is considerably different from headlines. No athlete would actually sign a 2026 contract with a $1.1 million base amount. That higher number only becomes possible through achieving multiple contract incentives, known as escalators in sports terminology. The foundational compensation remains between $800,000 and $850,000, with the additional $300,000 contingent upon meeting various performance benchmarks. This creates an awkward situation given the emergence of competing leagues.
They're effing with us at this point. All right? You probably just pissed all these players off. Now, personally speaking, I'm sort of on the side of ownership. This league would not exist right now if it wasn't for the owners being willing to lose money year over year over year over year. It's been an NBA charity case, for crying out loud. Okay? But this doesn't help things.
Project B, for instance, plans to offer minimum salaries of $2 million to its lowest tier athletes. This stark contrast makes the WNBA's proposal appear particularly ungenerous, regardless of the underlying financial justifications. The current compensation structure includes multiple earning streams beyond base pay. Athletes can receive additional money through championship bonuses, all-star game participation, awards recognition, player marketing agreements, and revenue-sharing mechanisms. Under the existing agreement, the 2025 Supermax sits at approximately $250,000, with minimum contracts at roughly $67,000. Performance bonuses follow a detailed scale.
Thanks. All right, because they put it out there under the pretense that, okay, we've raised the salary offer on a Supermax deal from $800,000 or $850,000 to $1.1 million. No, it's only $1.1 million because you threw some escalators into it. All right, and that's what they're called, contract escalators. If you meet certain criteria, you may earn up to
Championship winners receive an extra $11,000, while runners-up get $5,600. MVP honors add $15,000. First-team All-League selections provide $10,000. Second-team selections earn $5,000. All-Star appearances bring $2,500, and All-Star MVP recognition adds $5,100. Player marketing agreements, introduced during the 2021-22 season, theoretically allow athletes to earn up to $250,000 additionally. However, most prominent players have declined these arrangements because they restrict other name, image, and likeness opportunities. This limitation makes PMAs financially unattractive despite their potential value. The league has historically promoted potential earnings rather than guaranteed compensation.
$1.1 million. Do you realize everything you'd have to do to earn that? And at this point, you're actually fighting over $200,000. And this even looks worse considering that Project B is coming and the worst players in that league will earn $2 million minimum. That makes so even though I lean on the side of the owners on this, this is
In 2022, the commissioner claimed top athletes could potentially earn $700,000 annually, more than triple the actual Supermax base at that time. Achieving such figures requires winning every available bonus throughout the season while participating in marketing agreements. Revenue sharing represents another contentious element. The current agreement includes provisions for distributing excess earnings once specific targets are met. Beginning in 2020, sharing would have activated if league revenues increased by 20%.
So even though I lean on the side of the owners on this, this looks bad from a perception standpoint because people are not going to do the appropriate research into this, yada, yada, yada. Okay, all they're going to know is, oh, the league tried to get one over on the players, poor players. Earlier this week, word emerged, this is Front Office Sports, they dug into this. Word emerged that the WNBA had offered its...
Any amount above that threshold would enter a distribution pool, with athletes receiving a percentage. These targets are cumulative, and the COVID-19 pandemic effectively eliminated any possibility of triggering them. According to multiple sources, the proposed revenue sharing structure wouldn't differ significantly from existing arrangements. The league emphasizes its uncapped model offer, while the union seeks guaranteed revenue percentages similar to NBA and NFL systems. The comprehensive proposal includes revenue-sharing components designed to increase athlete compensation as league revenues grow, without limiting upside potential.
Dug into this. Word emerged that the WNBA had offered its players a new CBA that included a maximum salary of over $1 million per year, a landmark figure in a league where the salary cap is just $1.5 million per team. Multiple sources familiar with the league's labor negotiations said the numbers are misleading. While the salaries can reach a maximum of more than 1.1 in the league's offer, the base Supermax.
Player reactions reflect frustration with the presentation. Sophie Cunningham commented that waving large numbers around sounds appealing initially, but questions remain about whether salaries will increase alongside business growth or remain static. The situation resembles typical football contract structures. A hypothetical deal might include a $1 million salary with various bonuses, $20,000 for Pro Bowl selection, $20,000 for playoff participation, $20,000 for conference championship, $20,000 for Super Bowl appearance, and $20,000 for winning the championship. This creates a contract worth up to $1.1 million, though the guaranteed portion is only $1 million.
Maximum of more than 1.1 in the league's offer, the base Supermax contract would still be between $800,000 and $850,000 annually, as was the case in early October. The 1.1 million figure represents combined earnings from a base salary and additional potential revenue sharing. The league sources said under the league's offer, no player would sign a contract in 2026 with a base salary of $1.1 million. Okay.
From an ownership perspective, there's reasonable justification for caution regarding revenue sharing. The league has never generated profits, making it questionable why owners should immediately share revenues before recouping decades of losses. The organization reported a $40 million deficit in 2024, despite the arrival of Caitlin Clark, making it one of the least unprofitable seasons in history. The financial reality remains challenging. The league has survived solely through ownership, willingness to absorb continuous losses, functioning essentially as an NBA-subsidized operation.
Contract in 2026 with a base salary of $1.1 million. Okay, so that is not what everybody thought in all this.
I think
right?
the power of visibility
And
is
let me
huge.
just stop this. Dad tried to sneak in an article or wow, did it literally? It shot me out of the article over to YouTube. Shady ass front office sports. The league and union did not comment. Under the current
Multiple franchises have folded due to financial unsustainability. The Houston Comets, despite winning multiple championships, couldn't maintain profitability and eventually ceased operations. Current expansion efforts into Houston hope for better results. Some argue owners should recoup historical losses before implementing significant revenue sharing. A case could be made for retaining additional percentages, specifically to compensate for 27 years of financial support that kept the league operational.
The league and union did not comment. Under the current CBA, WNBA players have multiple ways to get paid directly from the league. Base salary, contract bonuses, championships, all-star appearances, awards, etc. Player marketing agreements and revenue sharing, which has never been triggered. The Supermax salary in 2025 was $249,244. $249,000. Let's just call it $250,000. The minimum was $66,079. Bonus scale per player, and this is
the presentation strategy seems counterproductive though. Rather than structuring the offer as $1.1 million with escalators adding up to $100,000 more, framing it as a base $1.1 million reaching $1.2 million with incentives would have avoided controversy. The actual disputed amount is only $200,000 to $300,000, making the communication misstep particularly unfortunate. The timing creates additional complications with competing leagues emerging. Attempting to present figures favorably while obscuring details serves only to anger athletes.